Today, on Sports World, the greatest professional skaters in the world have gathered together to compete in a single arena in quest of the title World Professional Figure Skating Champion. For the ladies, Olympic silver medalist Linda Fratianne, former world champion Elaine Zayak, silver medalist Rosalind Sumners, defending champion and gold medalist Dorothy Hamill. Also, in the pairs competition, former world champions Babilonia and Gardner, silver medalists Kitty and Peter Carruthers, former world champions Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini, and two-time Olympic gold medalists Lyudmila and Oleg Protopopov. They'll meet at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland for the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships. Today on NBC Sports World. Sites of our nation's capital, and here set to compete as professionals some of the greatest names in skating. It is the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. And skating for the Pro Stars, four-time U.S. pairs champions, and the silver medalists in Lake Placid, Kitty and Peter Carruthers. Four-time U.S. men's champion, four-times world champion, and the 1984 Olympic champion, Scott Hamilton. 1983 world champion and the 84 Olympic silver medalist, Rosalind Sumners. Four times world champions and the 84 Olympic champions, truly something special, Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. From Canada, five-time Canadian pairs champions and the 1984 world champions, Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini. The 1981 U.S. ladies champion and the 1982 world champion, Elaine Zayak. Now skating for the All-Stars. The world shared their heartbreak in Lake Placid in 1980. Five times U.S. pairs champions, Babilonia and Gardner. Five times U.S. dance champions, Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert. They were also members of the 1984 U.S. Olympic team. Now four-time British men's champion and the 1980 Olympic gold medalist, Robin Cousins. Four-time U.S. ladies champion, she won the silver medal in Lake Placid, Linda Fratianne. And the defending ladies champion, three-time U.S. ladies amateur champion and the 1976 Olympic champion, Dorothy Hamill. And two-time Olympic gold medalists from the Soviet Union, Lyudmila and Oleg Protopopov. Good afternoon. You are looking at a packed Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. I'm Bill Macatee, and there has been a great deal of anticipation about this event, the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships, because many of the top skaters in recent history are here this afternoon. And joining me for the broadcast is a friend who has been through all of this before, JoJo Starbuck. Good to have you with us.
It's good to be here.
I know you're especially looking forward to the competition in the ladies division because we've got all world champions here.
That's right. The ladies in this competition span the World Championships from 1976 to 1983. Now, the key question here today is who will have the advantage? Will it be the more seasoned professional like Dorothy Hamill, who has been at this competition 5 times before, or will it be the more newly turned professional who have more recently dealt with the pressures such as the Olympic Games?
Okay, let's play a little word association here. I'll say the name of a skater. You tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Dorothy Hamill.
Charismatic and sparkling.
Linda Fratianne.
Consistent and solid.
Elaine Zayak.
Gutsy and unpredictable.
And Rosalind Sumners.
Very quick and driven.
All right, so good competition expected in the ladies division. The third member of our NBC broadcast team this afternoon is over in the interview area, Dorothy Lucey. Let's go over to her. And Dorothy, I wonder if you can feel any tension there as the skaters get ready.
tension, you say, Bill? That might be putting it a little mildly. Welcome to the high anxiety attack corner. This is where the skaters stand and await their scores. Now, you know, everybody out on the ice is a professional, but still in all, some of them tell me when it comes to getting scores, they still have visions of disaster dancing in their heads. You might remember last year, Dorothy Hamill, a superstar of skaters. She was standing here biting her nails, fussing, flinching, all in fear of what her scores were going to be. And that's because these skaters are only out on the ice once in front of judges every year. That might make them just a little bit nervous, and I'll be here talking to the skaters as they await their scoring fate.
All right, Dorothy, and responsible for those scores, here's a look at our judges, and JoJo, a very elite group.
Yes, almost everyone was a world or Olympic champion themselves. David Jenkins, Aya Zanova, Bernard Ford, Carol Heiss, Norman Fuller, Maria Jelinek, and Hayes Jenkins.
And on the ice now, she won the ladies' professional championship here a year ago, Dorothy Hamill. They will skate 2 routines here, one technical and one emphasizing artistic interpretation. This is the technical routine.
In this technical routine, I think Dorothy is attempting the most difficult choreography that I've seen her do since her Olympic performance. Now, to defend her title today, she must really nail this opening section. She opens here with a split jump into a double flip, double toe loop combination, and it was beautifully done. Dorothy's choreography was done by Sarah Kawahara, another fine skater, and I think Sarah has really driven her to work harder than ever before, and that's a nice double-X jump. Dorothy this year. She's always a consummate champion when she arrives here, but a lot of times she almost seems apologetic and humble of that fact. However, this year she is very commanding, very authoritative, even in practice. Nice variations on a flying camel spin.
Dorothy Hamill, obviously a favorite with the crowd here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, and a very elegant and regal routine for her technical number. And now let's go down to Dorothy Lucey.
Are you under a lot of pressure because you are Dorothy Hamill? I mean, you have that name. When you go out there, people expect something extra?
Well, yes, I guess so. You know, and it's been almost 10 years now since the Olympics, and well, I guess I don't want to be, well, she used to be great. She was great. And the past few years I've been coming here and doing this fresh off the road, you know, on from small ice surfaces. And now, you know, having trained on big ice and being on big ice for this, it's a lot easier.
Touch of stage fright?
Just a touch. Yeah.
For Dorothy Hamill.
That's beautiful.
9.9. 10. 10. 9.9. 9.9. 9.9. And 9.9. Total score, 49.6.
Another look at Dorothy Hamill and a very nice score in her technical routine of 49.6. Getting set now, Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner. And before we get to Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner, let's go over to JoJo Starbuck.
With me here at the Capitol Center is Bob Shapiro, the president of NutraSweet.
Thank you, JoJo. We're proud to bring you the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championship once again. We believe this event is one of the most beautiful and unique in the entire world of sports. We hope your family will enjoy it as much as the NutraSweet family enjoys bringing it to you.
Thank you, Bob. And for everyone who skates and who enjoys watching, we thank NutraSweet.
You are looking at Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner.
That beautiful line I was talking about earlier. This program is choreographed by Sarah Kawahara, and of course they are skating to the theatrical Slaughter on 10th Avenue. Coming up here is an example of Randy's great strength and Ty's beautiful extensions. It's a lift they've been doing for years, but there's a slight variation coming up here at the end, and it looks like they bobbled it a bit there. They were anticipating the landing. And side-by-side double flip jumps. Flying camels. And this, of course, is a back outside death spiral. Very well executed. Wonderfully matched once again, side-by-side butterflies. Surprisingly enough, in Ty and Randy's professional career, they have never won a pro title, but they're looking very strong here today in this bid.
Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner, and a nice round of applause from this crowd here at the Capitol Center.
Gardner.
As we await their scores for technical merit, there are 7 judges. They will throw out the high score and the low score, and the 5 remaining scores constitute their total. And here's another look, Joe.
On this side-by-side flying camel, watch the perfectly matched lines and the identical pace of the turn.
and we're set for the scores for Ty and Randy.
Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner. 9.9. 9.9. 9.8. 9.8. 9.9. 9.9. Total score, 49.4.
Getting set now, the pairs team of Oleg and Lyudmila Protopopov. We'll return in a moment. Professional figure skating championships, and on the ice, the Olympic gold medalists in 1964 and 1968, Oleg and Lyudmila Protopopov.
I've been watching them do this very lift for 20 years. I can't believe it. Not only is the strength amazing, but watch how gently he sets her down there. That takes tremendous strength on both their parts.
And as you watch them, remember that he is 53 and Lyudmila just turned 50.
You know, Bill, this is the only event that they skate all year long, and I so respect their great discipline. Protopopovs are, of course, legends in this sport, and with a style so classical and balletic, it must be very difficult for the judges to compare them with the younger teams of today, who are, of course, much more athletic. Bill, that was such a beautiful performance and skated with such rare finesse.
And the crowd here at the Capitol Center is on its feet for Oleg and Lyudmila Protopopov.
Lyudmila and Oleg Protopopov.
They'll be shooting for a score of 49.4 to tie Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner. And remember, the Protopopovs won here 2 years ago, but before the competition last year, Oleg had a couple of kidney operations and wasn't 100%. And here's another look, JoJo.
Protopopov.
Here's that sustained
9.9.
overhead lift. Now this takes great strength on both their parts. And watch as they both release their left hands. She must be perfectly rigid in the air and able to sustain her own weight. And watch how he gently lets her down.
10. 9.8. The total score, 49.4.
49.4, so a tie for the lead in the pairs competition. Still to come, Peter and Kitty Carruthers. Center in Landover, Maryland, and you're watching the stars of Ice Capades, Peter and Kitty Carruthers.
In their number, you'll see they do many prayer positions, and here's a crucifix position, which points up the reference to their music, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar. Watch this strong tap overhead here. Watch her release both hands. That's real tough on the tummy muscles. Very well done. And a forward inside death spiral, which of course was invented by the Protopopovs. Also very well done. I'd say that's a very aggressive and powerful bid for a title here today.
The adopted brother and sister from Burlington, Massachusetts, Peter and Kitty Carruthers. Well, they really had an impact on the U.S. efforts in Sarajevo in 1984. No one expected them to win a medal, and when they took the silver, they really got everyone's attention and picked up the U.S. squad.
And here's another look at that throw. Triple Salchow. Watch him release her, and a very solid landing by Kitty.
Now let's go over to Dorothy Lucey.
Glad that's over.
You're glad that's over. Looked happy when you were out there.
Oh, it was good, man. We've been skating with Capades all year, which is wonderful. It's nice to get back here with our group of people that we competed with in the Olympics.
It's nice to compete.
Yeah, you know, watching Oleg and Lyudmila, I mean, they're legends in their own time. I don't really believe we're competing against them. It's just an honor to be on the ice with them.
Was it a little nerve-wracking to go out there after they had gotten a standing ovation?
I was nervous. I was clapping watching them. I felt like standing too.
Here come your scores.
9.9, 10, 9.8, 9.9, 9.8, 9.8. The total score, 49.2.
So things are tight in the pairs competition, only 0.2 of a point separating the first 4 places. When we return to final round for the ladies, our leader is Dorothy Hamill. Buck and Dorothy Lucey back now at the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships, and on the ice, Elaine Zayak. In the second round, they skate in inverse order of the standings. Elaine is in 4th place, and still to come Rosalind Sumners, Linda Fratiani, and Dorothy Hamill.
Elaine just did a very nice double flip jump, but of course this part of the competition does not accentuate the technical, it accentuates the artistic.
We have already had the technical routines. This is the artistic segment, and this is where the differences between amateur and professional skating are most apparent.
That's right. You know, Elaine has tremendous strength and ability in many areas. However, in her transition from amateur to pro, she hasn't yet found her discipline as a pro.
Happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow.
And I think that may have been a double axel she had planned. She chose to do a single there. She finishes with a nice layback spin. And right into a fast toe spin. You know, Bill, I'm hoping to see a lot more out of Elaine Zayak in the future. I think this girl has tremendous potential.
Elaine Zayak currently in 4th place, and now we'll get her scores.
9.6, 9.6, 9.6, 9.6.
You know, we see that smile on Elaine on the outside, but inside, I don't think she's really satisfied with her performance.
9.7.
That's a tough feeling to deal with.
48.1.
That gives Elaine Zayak a 96.1, and on the ice currently in 3rd place, Rosalind Sumners, and she had a chance earlier to visit with Dorothy Lucey.
You reveal so much of your personality out on the ice. Do you ever get shy that maybe you're telling people too much about you?
I've never really been, I'm a shy person more on a one-to-one basis or in, you know, with a small group, but once I'm on the ice, that shyness just disappears. And I am revealing my personality, and I'm showing a bit of myself out on the ice that no one gets to see off the ice.
Now representing the Pro Stars team, Rosalind Sumners.
JoJo, Rosalind's matured a great deal in the last 6 months. She told me earlier in practice that she doesn't think you have to go jumping and skate 100 miles an hour to be interesting out there, and I think it's reflected in this routine.
That is a sign of maturity, when you don't have to do jumps and spins and you can still command a full arena of people. This artistic number is choreographed for Rosalind by Olympic champion Robin Cousins, and I really think his style suits her well, and I think that Robin has given Rosalind a lot of confidence this year in the competition. Silver medalist Rosalind Sumners, the star of Disney on Ice. She finished second in 1984 to Katharina Witt of East Germany. It was a very strong performance, I feel, by Rosalind. And you know, Bill, it's so hard for these skaters who are doing up to 11 performances a week in the ice shows to train for a competition like this. But Rosalind is very driven.
Rosalind Sumners currently in third place. Let's go down to Dorothy Lucey.
Rosalind, I know the time since the Olympics has been a little tough for you. Does a night like tonight help take away some of the hurt?
Oh, man. This is, I think, the first time since really Worlds of '83 when I was world champion that I had that inner feeling of satisfaction and love for skating. I was out there for me now and not for everyone else wanting me to win a medal.
How did you get your confidence back?
It's been real hard. It's been really hard. I've gotten very down it a few times, and it's just something I had to really dig deep for. And
here are your scores.
Scores for Rosalind Sumners. 9.8, 9.9, 9.9, 9.8, 9.8, 9.7, 9.8. The total score, 49.1.
A combined score of 97.9, and Rosalind Sumner can do no worse than third place. And still to come, Dorothy Hamill and Linda Fratiani. On the ice now, Linda Fratiani. She is very consistent, very steady, and is in second place now trying to catch Dorothy Hamill.
Remember that watching these pros here today, you forget how easy it is to slip and wipe out. The level of intensity here is very great, and beneath all those rhinestones, you're seeing some nerves of steel.
Linda Fratiani, the star of Magic Kingdom on Ice. And you know, JoJo, she says that she is not technically now as good as she was when she was skating as an amateur. She's not as quick, but she says she's now a better performer.
She is a terrific performer, and that's especially important in this artistic part of the competition.
Some lost feeling stir inside me. Used to think nights were for sleeping.
double toe loop into a butterfly. Linda is skating to a piece of music from Andrew Lloyd Webber's Song and Dance, which is currently a hit on Broadway. Now this is her trademark, that sit spin position, and she goes into her layback spin.
Linda Fratiani, and a nice round of applause from the crowd here at the Capitol Center. Linda trying to hang on to second place and maybe even put a little pressure on Dorothy Hamill for the championship. So let's take another look.
Here's another look at the camel into the Fratiani trademark sit spin into the layback spin. And Linda does it so well and makes it look so easy.
Many of the experts say you are the most consistent skater here. You're always on. Is consistency enough for you to win?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. That's always been my thing, is to try and be consistent with everything. And I think that's probably the reason why I've lasted so long. And while
here come your scores.
9.7. 9.9, 9.9, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8. The total score, 49.1.
So that moves Linda Fratiani into the lead, but still to come, the defending champion and the leader after the first round, Dorothy Hamill. Get to Dorothy Hamill, we want to take you behind the scenes a little bit and show you a woman who has had a dramatic impact on professional skating. This is Sarah Kawahara, and she's a choreographer for a lot of skaters, including Ty and Randy, and also Dorothy Hamill.
I tried to bring out her power. She has a great strength of edge, and her stroke has great command to it. Her greatest asset is her presence. She's an excellent jumper and an excellent spinner. I would venture to say she's the best spinner in the world, and now her presence has really started to come out much more.
So now we're going to see the results of the combined efforts of Dorothy Hamill and Sarah Kawahara, and kind of a new look for Dorothy.
It certainly is, and a fun one at that.
One night's sleep, too much ringing the bell takes its toll out of you. The sound's too loud, the lights too bright, chains are too heavy and the shoes are too tight. One rock and roll too many takes its toll.
Dorothy Hamill. And JoJo, she said she was working hard for this, and it's apparent.
Well, she looks great, and it doesn't get any better than that. I think I love the new Dorothy look.
I think the crowd here at the Capitol Center agrees. Let's go to Dorothy Lucey.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
The girl we're used to. Not sweet, but hot and punky.
Hot and punky. It's fun.
The crowd liked it.
Yeah, I don't think they're used to seeing me in this kind of a role. They're used to the Mary Poppins. It's fun to do this for a change. Nice little hairdo. The wedge is gone. I'm so glad it's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for Dorothy Hamill. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 9.9.
That 9.9 won't count because they throw out the high and the low. It's a perfect score of 50 for Dorothy Hamill, and she has won her second straight Ladies Professional Championship. A little hug there from Sarah Kawahara. So here are the final standings in the ladies competition. Following Dorothy, Linda Fratiani, and then Rosalind Sumners in third, and Elaine Zayak fourth. And remember, we have a tie for first place in the pairs competition between the Protopopovs and Ty and Randy with the artistic round. You are watching Barbara Underhill and Paul Martini from Canada, the stars of Ice Capades. And their second routine in the pairs competition, the artistic routine.
This is a wonderful variation on a lift. They do so many innovative things, and they are due largely to her size and gutsiness and his strength and steadiness. Now watch the variation on this back outside death spiral. He'll grab both hands and flip her over to a short forward inside. I've never seen that before. Now talk about total commitment. She really has to have confidence in Paul and know the exact balance point for that lift. Bothering her at all. This is a very smooth as well as strong performance. Now here's another variation on a death spiral, a forward inside with two arms. This was invented by the Protopopovs, and they call it the life spiral.
Paul Martini and Barbara Underhill from Canada, and as you said, JoJo, her injury didn't seem to be much of a factor.
No, it didn't, but I'm sure it added pressure, along with the fact that they are the defending champions, and they skated so spectacularly here last year. But I think they really lived up to the challenge and did a great job.
Nice effort from Martini and Underhill, but the scores will have to be high to catch the Protopopovs and Ty and Randy. Here's Dorothy.
Is it frustrating for you when you can't train because your partner has an injury?
Always. You always find that you don't realize how much you miss working so you can't work, and then it suddenly dawns on you, and it's hard when you wake up every morning, hey, I feel great, let's go, and then it's, oh yeah, can't today, so it's pretty frustrating.
9.9. 10. 9.8. 9.9. 9.9. 10.
We'll be back with more skating in just a moment, but it was 29 years ago today that Tenley Albright, the 1956 gold medal winner in ladies skating, retired. But instead of marking the end of a career, it marked the beginning of a new life. That's the subject of our Years Ago Today. Skating to the music of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, two-time Olympic gold medalists Oleg and Lyudmila Protopopov.
Being 16 years old and watching them do this very performance in Grenoble, France at my first Olympics in 1968. I was in awe then, and I'm still in awe today. Watch how beautifully he lets her down.
The scores for Lyudmila and Oleg Protopopov. 10. 10. 9.9. 10. 10. 10.
There was a 9.9 in there, but it won't count because, of course, they throw out the high and the low, so a perfect score of 50 for the Protopopovs. And that puts the pressure now on Ty and Randy. They can do no better than tie for first place, and to do that, they'll need to be perfect. Babilonia and Randy Gardner needing a perfect score of 50 to tie for first place in the pairs competition. Ty and Randy have been together for 18 years now, and earlier Ty talked about their first meeting.
I was 9 and Randy was 11. We were taken from the same coach. For some odd reason, she thought of Randy and I for a pair team, and I was very young and very shy and very afraid of holding his hand. I hardly knew Randy, and she really had to bribe me and force me to skate around the rink with him and hold his hand.
Ty and Randy have had a roller coaster career. In 1979, they won both the U.S. and World Pairs Championships and were guests of President and Mrs. Carter at the White House. And then the tragedy most of us remember during their opening routine at the 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid. Randy fell, the result of a groin injury developed during practice. They were favored to win the gold medal, but instead they were forced to withdraw. The loss of a chance for that gold was traumatic, and it was difficult for both of them to put the incident behind them. But they fought back, and today Ty and Randy believe they've come out of it skating better than ever. We caught up with them during rehearsals for Dorothy Hamill's new show, Hot Ice. They both live in the Los Angeles area, and although spending more time together than most married couples, they are single, and they live very separate lives.
Call you tonight.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Ty's townhouse in the San Fernando Valley is decorated in an almost fantasy world. perhaps influenced, by the priceless collection of original Oz books that Ty inherited from her grandmother.
Ty loves fantasy. I grew up with my mom telling me fairy tales. If you look at my place here, there's a lot of angels and fairies and just a lot of magical things having to do with fantasy. Even sometimes when I skate, I feel like I'm floating or sort of flying like a fairy or an elf. I'm basically very easy to get along with and very caring. I love to help people, love to help children, handicapped children.
Randy Gardner's place is close to the beach, about 25 miles south of Ty's apartment. He chose this area because it gives him the quiet atmosphere and solitude he looks for off the ice.
I think I'm a little more complacent and more calm and introverted at home than I am when I'm on the ice. It's almost like a chameleon. But I do like to go out and have fun with my friends. I've always liked the beach. It's a place where I can go, especially by myself, at around sunset, when no one's out there, and just hear the water and see the waves. And I can really think about a lot of things there. And it's almost, I lose myself totally when I'm there.
Ty summed up this very special relationship with her partner and friend by these words she wrote early one morning.
Forced to hold his hand at a very early age, still today side by side atop the frozen stage. Good times, bad times, we've survived them as a team. To sustain this hidden love we share, every night I dream. Misfortune in 80 may be meant to be. Trust and understanding will always be the key. Memories shared as shadows, the majority of them fun. When the glow has gone, we depart still friends, forever two as one. That's for him. He's a great guy.
And here they are now on the ice, Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner, skating for the pairs title, and they need to be perfect.
You know, in order to do a great performance here, for Ty and Randy, it means putting the competition aspect out of their minds and really doing a beautiful performance. Here, the music they've chosen is On Golden Pond, and it's choreographed by Sarah Kawahara.
Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner. And once again, they need a perfect score of 50 to tie the Protopopovs for first place. That has an effect on the scoring. It didn't have an effect on their routine. They're right back in it. Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner, and except for a bobble toward the end, apparently a flawless routine. And Joe, it'll be interesting to see whether or not that affects the judges' scoring. Let's take another look at it.
Okay, in this throw axel, Ty is turning a little slower than usual in the air and doesn't quite have the time she needs to hit a strong landing position, so she's off balance.
All right, let's go over to Dorothy Lucey.
Here with a tied score. You needed a perfect score to win this competition. Do you think you got it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I just go out and try and do my best. That's bottom line.
You can never judge your own performance.
Oh, I can. Oh, definitely.
How did you do?
Okay. Okay.
Par, I think, tonight.
You know, it's so dramatic when you skate in the dark. Give us an idea how difficult it is.
Well, you have to get used to it. It looks better, and it makes me get into the number more when I do it that way. It is more difficult, but you get used to it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the scores for Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. And 9.9.
That 9.9 doesn't count. They throw out the high and the low, so Ty and Randy have done exactly what they had to do. A perfect score of 50, and Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner will share the championship with the Protopopovs. Here's a look at the final standings. Martini and Underhill from Canada, third, and Peter and Kitty Carruthers in fourth place. We'll be back to the Capitol Center right after these messages. We are back now at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships, and there are our pairs champions. The title is shared between Oleg and Lyudmila Protopopov and Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner. And for Ty and Randy, their first ever professional championship. For Oleg and Lyudmila, they live in Grindelwald, Switzerland. They rehearsed 250 times this past year. This is their only competition. And there's our ladies champion, Dorothy Hamill, getting the award from the president of NutraSweet, Bob Shapiro. A little kiss there. Dorothy sporting a new look. And now sharing the award with the crowd here at the Capitol Center. She gives a lot to them, and they try to return the favor. And now let's go over to Dorothy Lucey with our pairs champion.
A tie, unheard of. Now, the other day, Elaine Zayak said to me that she told you, Lyudmila, that she felt old and tired, and you said, I could be your mother. Do you ever feel intimidated skating with these young whippersnappers?
You know, I am very proud that I can show that it's, in these ages it's possible to be in shape. I am so proud.
And you two, in this competition, 6 years, first time you've ever won.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
I'm so excited right now. We gave it our all, and the judges enjoyed it, and the crowd enjoyed it, and that really makes me very happy. I'm elated.
And I enjoyed it. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dorothy. And a reminder that in 3 weeks, the men's competition with Scott Hamilton on the left there. The winner of the gold medal in Sarajevo 1984 against Robin Cousins. The winner of the gold in Lake Placid in 1980. They're meeting for the first time as professionals. And then ice dancing, Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert of the United States. And their opposition will be formidable. The British ice dancing team of Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. Perfect scores in 1984 in Sarajevo. Perfect scores here a year ago. They're our defending ice dancing champions. So for JoJo, Starbuck, and Dorothy Lucey, I'm Bill Macatee. Good afternoon from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. Today on Sports World, the greatest professional skaters in the world have gathered together to compete in a single arena in quest of the title World Professional Figure Skating Champion. In the ice dancing competition, Olympic gold medalist Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, and 5-time national champions Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert. Also, in the men's competition, 1980 Olympic gold medalist Robin Cousins and 1984 Olympic champion Scott Hamilton. They meet at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland at the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships today on NBC Sports World.
This is NBC's Sports World, and today in
Grace the ice as we saw 1976 Olympic gold medalist Dorothy Hamill capture not only the hearts of the audience, but the marks of the judges as she garnered a perfect score of 50 to win the women's championship. And then in the pairs competition, Babilonia and Gardner also captured perfection and held on against the mark of 50 by the two-time Olympic champions Lyudmila and Oleg Protopopov, resulting in a tie. An unprecedented event here in Landover. Today, you'll see the men's championship with the 1980 Olympic gold medalist Robin Cousins and his rival, the 1984 winner at the Olympics in Sarajevo, Scott Hamilton. And in the ice dancing competition, five-time national champions Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert. And the 1984 Olympic champions and the defending champions here, Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Macatee.
And joining me again today is a friend and someone who's been through all of this before, JoJo Starbuck. And once again, it's good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Everyone has been talking all week about the matchup you're going to see this afternoon between Scott Hamilton and Robin Cousins, the two Olympic gold medalists, and this is the first time they've ever met head-to-head.
That's right, since the 1980 Lake Placid Winter Olympic Games. And although these two are very different in height, they have a lot in common. They are theatrically spectacular. They are technically both excellent. And aside from that, they are both great champions who really want to win here today. So we're in for a great match.
And they both have a flip in their routine, which, by the way, is illegal in amateur competition, but could prove to be a big plus as professionals. Now, ice dancing, everyone expects a solid performance again from the British couple, Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean.
And I'm sure that they'll get it, but we must not forget the tremendous American dance team, Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert, who came here armed with a dynamite performance. Now, they are amongst Torvill and Dean's top contenders at the Olympics, so we're in for a treat with that event also.
All right, the third member of our broadcast team here with us this afternoon will be over in the interview area, Dorothy Lucey. Dorothy?
Bill, beneath the skater's smiles and sequins is something that we never see, and that's a bundle of nerves. I've been watching them in dress rehearsal, and some of them are sort of spying on each other, some trying to psych each other out. The competition is keen.
All right, Dorothy, and here's a look at our esteemed panel of judges.
An illustrious group of champions: David Jenkins, Aya Zanova, Bernard Ford, Carol Heiss, Norman Fuller, Maria Jelinek, and Hayes Jenkins.
And we're going to get right to it now. The British ice dancing team of Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. And they really rocked this place a year ago. Perfect scores. They're our defending champions. And this number is a bit of a departure for them. It is a comedy routine. And, Joe, it'll be interesting to see how the judges perceive this.
It certainly will be. You know, Torvill and Dean have always been pace setters and rule changers in this sport. But it's very curious that they should choose a comedy number for the technical part of the competition.
Also, you might want to keep an eye on their facial expressions. They have been working with a stage director as well as a choreographer, and it shows in this routine.
A comedy theatrical number, of course, there is a lot of difficulty in some of these moves they're doing.
Torvill and Dean really redefined the sport of ice dancing in their performances in Sarajevo, as well as what they did here a year ago.
You know, a move like this is very bold, and it's a real gamble as far as tradition goes. But Torvill and Dean are not followers, and they approach everything wholeheartedly. They're going all out for the humor here, and the audience is loving it. Torvill and Dean have received only perfect marks from every judge in every competition. So this will be interesting to see how these judges score this non-technical number in this technical part of the competition.
Something a little different from Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, and as usual, they go off the ice in character. The crowd here at the Capitol Center loves it, and let's get their marks.
10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 9.9. 10.
That 9.9 won't count because they throw out the high and the low, so it's a perfect score of 50 for Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. And coming up, the men's competition, and we'll begin with Robin Cousins when we return. You're watching the 1980 Olympic gold medalist Robin Cousins of Great Britain. Skaters here are required to perform two routines. The first is a technical number, which you're seeing now. Later, the routine will emphasize artistic interpretation.
And watch this open axle. No one does it quite like Robin, and that was a beauty.
His size is a definite advantage, isn't it?
It really is. I think everything looks so spectacular on Robin, like those butterflies.
Earlier, we mentioned Robin's backflip, which is his trademark, and that is coming up. Robin hits the flip, and of course there's Scott Hamilton. He's added a flip to his routine, and Scotty will be up next.
You know, Robin really seems emotionless, which is very rare for him. But what you're seeing is a game face. He's very serious about hitting everything perfectly in his bid here. And this proper packaging of your skills is so important to the way you are appreciated. And Robin really seems to understand the art of putting it all together. Showing its approval, as I certainly do. That was a splendid performance by Robin. You know, I work out with him every day at the Sky Rink, and it's still a thrill watching him here in the performance.
Here's another look at the flip, Joe, and he does it in a layout position, which makes it much more difficult. Let's go over to Dorothy Lucey.
I know you don't like to talk about competition, but I just said to Scott, good luck, and he said, I'm going to need it today. I think he meant you. How much does it mean to you to beat him?
I don't think it means anything to either of us to beat us. I think it's such a hard place to be in. I think had we been on the same team, it wouldn't have mattered, but obviously you're out there to win when you are performing. No one wills each other, so it's personal preference from the judges over there. We'll just have to see.
We're going to see now.
10. 10. 9.9. 10. 10. 10. 10. The total score, 50.
And And the crowd here at the Capitol Center awaits the first routine from Scott Hamilton. The standard has been set, and it's perfect.
Things sweetened with 100% NutraSweet display the 100% NutraSweet symbol.
Sure you know what you're looking for?
A little red swirl next to the words NutraSweet brand sweetener.
Out on TV.
Not hard to spot at all.
You're gonna freeze your face.
The 100% symbol means great taste without any sugar added and no saccharin.
Found it.
100% NutraSweet.
About time.
Why some things taste better.
Back now at the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships, and here comes Scott Hamilton. He is serious, JoJo. He saw Robin Cousins' perfect score. He knows what he has to do.
Look at this complete concentration and focus on his face. He's preparing. His toughest jump is right here in his opening, a triple Lutz jump. He's been pacing like a tiger getting ready for this. And let's see how he does.
And you gotta know, even though he's been the star of Ice Capades for the last year,
and he nails it perfectly,
that the competitive fires have not gone out of Scott Hamilton. And like Robin Cousins, he has a backflip in his routine, and it comes early.
Nice one. He's got to feel good now. You know, when Scott Hamilton turns on the juice, as he's obviously doing here, he's going to be almost impossible to beat.
Look at Robin Cousins. He has his first routine out of the way, and Scott's going to try to nail that perfect score of 50 here.
Here's another triple coming up. Wally jump. Triple toe loop, and another nice one.
Joe, I was talking to some of the judges before the competition, and they say the thing about Scott is that in spite of his size, he skates big.
That's right. He fills this arena with his presence as well as his tremendous speed. And those are beautiful Russian split jumps into a butterfly.
Music change here, and Joe, this is as much for dramatic effect as it is to give him a chance to catch his breath, right?
That's right, and to prepare for a fast ending, which he has planned. In the world. The marks on the ice are perfect. They're flawless, like that double axel. There's no skid mark as there is for most skaters. It's perfectly clean. Jam-packed ending now. This is usually when you're so exhausted. That was a great double Lutz. The legs are usually giving out at this point, and he's not slowing down at all. Another double axel. A nice open axel. Now watch the speed of this footwork.
Scott Hamilton apparently very much up to the task of following the perfect scores of Robin Cousins. And here's another look at the flip, and side by side with the back flip of Robin Cousins, and you can see the slight difference. Cousins doing the flip in a layout position.
Well, nail that back flip. You did not fall on your head like you kept promising me you would.
I'm sorry. No. Yeah, it's hard when you skater before you get to 50, man. It just takes everything out of you. It's like, what can I do to win? You know, nothing. So it was kind of hard at first getting the concentration, but after the triple Lutz and back flip, I felt pretty solid. It's just that...
I know this is a tough question, but what does it mean to you to beat Robin?
Oh,
10.
I've always respected Robin. Always. He was the big shot when I was coming up.
Here are your scores, Scott.
Okay.
10. 10. 10. 9.9. 9.9.
One of those 9.9s will
Total
count.
49.9.
I gave it my best shot, says Scott Hamilton, and he is 1/10 of a point, about as close to perfect as you can get, behind Robin Cousins. As you take another look at the back flip, and the artistic phase is still to come. We'll be back with ice dancing in a moment. World Professional Figure Skating Championships at the Capitol Center, and on the ice, Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert for the artistic segment of the ice dancing competition.
Now, using a very theatrical approach to a disco version of Madame Butterfly, Judy and Michael have given themselves a great challenge here in choosing to use this fan. It's just like working with a third partner. The timing of relating with the fan as well as each other and still keeping their footwork in sync is very, very difficult. Of how the timing of the opening of the fan had to be just right. You know, in addition to the weight and the splinters and the blisters that the fan has caused, it's also very heavy and wind resistant.
Watching Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert.
Of course, were 5-time U.S. ice dancing champions, and they were the world bronze medalists in 1985. This is their first professional competition. Fighting a lot of adversity this week just with a cold and laryngitis and strep throat, and they're turning in a beautiful performance today.
Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert of the United States, and this crowd at the Capitol Center gives them a very nice round of applause. Joe, you mentioned how they use the fan as almost a third person. Here's another look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert. 9.9, 9.9, 9.9, 9.9, 9.9, 9.9, and 9.9.
Good scores for Judy Blumberg and Michael Seibert. And remember, we've still got Scott Hamilton and Robin Cousins to come. A couple more backflips from these gentlemen when we return to the Capitol Center. We are back now at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland.
JoJo, when you think about Scott Hamilton and Robin Cousins, you can't help but notice that one seems almost too small for the sport, probably too small for any sport at that, and the other seems probably just a little too tall to be an effective figure skater. But they both have been champions, and they both have a very similar, aggressive style to their skating.
Well, Joe, as you can see, Scott knows how to relax in his spare time.
I can't believe he did that.
That is from the Circus of the Stars. And on the ice now, Scott Hamilton. This is the second number, which is artistic interpretation. The second routine, by the way, is done in reverse order of the standings. So Scott goes first, and he'll set the mark for Robin Cousins.
Okay, now being a great competitor and knowing he's a little bit behind, Scott is going to give this number everything he's got. And when it comes to showmanship and theatrics, that's a lot.
There's the backflip, and Scott told me earlier that he worked on it in September in a harness, and it just took him a few hours, and then he finally incorporated it into his act, although it's still the trademark of Robin Cousins. Scott Hamilton, the star of Ice Capades, in the second phase of the men's competition, the artistic interpretation routine.
And he throws in a beauty of a triple toe loop just for good measure. double axel. Fun-filled, action-packed program. I don't see how that program can be beat.
We'll see if the judges agree as the crowd here at the Capitol Center gives Scott Hamilton a nice ovation. Let's go to Dorothy Lucey.
You came in here a little bit an underdog because of Robin. That's not the usual thing for you. Is that tough?
Oh, I don't know. I like to think this competition could come. Just get as well as you can, hope for the best. There's really no structure. So you just kind of hope for whatever comes. It's different every year.
We'll see what comes.
10. 10. 9.9. 9.9. 9.9. 9.8. 10.
Now, I know the judges are still waiting for Robin, but boy, I'm surprised Scott didn't get more 10s. He skated a tremendous performance.
Scotty says it's over, but it's not technically. Robin Cousins is still to come. Back now at the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships on the ice. That is Robin Cousins, and he needs a 49.7 in this artistic routine to wrap up the men's championship.
Now let's talk about range for a minute. In the technical part of this competition, we saw Robin do a very spectacular yet calm, focused performance to more classic type music. Now in this number, we're seeing the contrast, which makes you realize what a great range this man has. And there is a gorgeous double axel.
Not swirling around the ice at 100 miles an hour, but that footwork is pretty tricky.
It is, and he choreographs every step he makes.
On the ice from Great Britain, the 1980 gold medalist Robin Cousins.
Spectacular tuck, delayed axel jump. And once again, that layout backflip.
Cousins, and you can't see them, but even the other skaters are on their feet as the crowd here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland gives Robin a standing ovation.
A terrific number by Robin Cousins, and he really knows how to package his great skill.
Let's go over to Dorothy Lucey.
I know you didn't want to think of this event as a shootout between you and Scotty, but with everybody else saying it, does it start to affect you?
I think it does. I think certainly within the first half and the markings, and I think we're very close to each other, and we're very tight, and it's been very fun and interesting, and I hope that now it's done, it'll be put to rest. But I'm happy with what I've done, so I've enjoyed it.
10. 10. 10. 10. 10. 10.
You know, I think it was the wide range of excellence that Robin showed us today that won this competition for him.
2 perfect routines for Robin Cousins, a total score of 100. That gives him the men's championship. Scott Hamilton was second. Center and on the ice, the leaders after the first round in ice dancing, Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. And that is the planet Venus. Torvill and Dean always have something very unusual, and this routine is no exception. was interesting. You looked around during that routine, and everybody was mesmerized by Torvill and Dean, and you could almost hear a pin drop here at the Capitol Center.
It was breathtaking, and after last year's appearance here, I couldn't wait to see what they would come up with, but I have not been disappointed. They have topped themselves. You know, it's thrilling to see their imaginations and creativity fly now that they're professionals and they don't have to deal with all the rules and restrictions of amateur competition. They've truly affected their sport by opening such horizons, and this performance is a great example.
Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, and it'll surprise no one if their scores are perfect again. Let's go down to Dorothy.
The props and the costumes are phenomenal, but do you ever get concerned that they become the star instead of the skating?
We always try to make the main emphasis on the skating anyway.
It's an integral part of the whole thing that you need all the elements to bring out the emotion and the feeling and what you're trying to say at the time. And so it's just complementing what we're trying to do.
For Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. 10. 10. 10. 10.
Once again, a perfect routine from Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. And for the second consecutive year, they are the World Professional Ice Dancing Champions. Here's a look at the final standings. Torvill and Dean, 100, perfection. Blumberg and Seibert, not far behind, 99. Cousins, the men's champion, receiving his award from Bob Shapiro, the president of NutraSweet. And here's another look at Robin's backflip in his second routine. Both routines perfect for Robin Cousins. And here are our ice dancing champions. Once again, Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean have won that title. And like Robin Cousins, Torvill and Dean, two perfect routines. And let's go over to Dorothy Lucey now, who's with Robin Cousins and Scott Hamilton.
Scotty, were you happy with the way you skated tonight?
I thought I skated about as well as I could, and I've been touring for a long time, and this is just the next week right after, so I felt really good. You know, the road wear, which didn't kick in like I thought it was going to, but I felt good. I felt the crowd was wonderful, and I hit everything I tried, so I felt pretty good about the way things went tonight.
And the Skater of the Year. And Robin, did you just know that this was your night?
I knew I was prepared as well as I could be, and I think you go out there just knowing that you've done all the groundwork and you've done all your homework, and I think we both knew coming in here what it was going to be like, and I think the fact that we'd accepted what was going to happen anyway, I don't think it really made any difference to either the performances. I mean, no one, as I said earlier, no one wishes anybody bad luck. You know, I wouldn't like to have been one of the seven to differentiate, and it's worked out. We both had fun.
And you're both champions. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much, Dorothy Lucey and JoJo Starbuck. I think we got a chance to see some pretty good skating here today.
That's right. I think you've seen here today, Bill, the finest ensemble of championship skating ever assembled. Every one of these skaters have won world and Olympic titles.
And as you look at some of the stellar moments from the NutraSweet World Professional Figure Skating Championships, we'll say goodbye. For Dorothy Lucey and JoJo Starbuck, I'm Bill Macatee. Good afternoon from the Capitol Center in